Alright, fat man, you're going down. Nice. We got a hood for our efforts. So we just started a brand new character in the brand new league. And with the brand new league comes a new mechanic. It's called Abyss. So, you're gonna see these little green fissures on the ground. Be warned, these things hit hard. So early game, before you get any loot online and your character is still a little bit squishy, definitely want to be playing this extra safe. So I just left town. This little flamethrower bug really has it out for me, and yeah, it's a lot. So that was my sign to go level up and get some loot. And luckily for us, this little old lady is so kind to give us just that. So from the first kill, we go ahead and get some movement speed boots. What's not to love there? It's just gonna make farming her the next 5 or 6 times that much faster. So that's exactly what we do. So what we're hoping for is some superior gear, some socketed gear, and the sort, you know, just an overall general upgrades would be nice as well. And we're getting some levels while we're at it. So I think that should about do it for us for the little old lady. And as we're progressing the storyline now, one of these little animals here drop an iron ring. Now, a little bit of flat damage always goes a long way early game. That 1 to 4 physical damage might not sound like a lot, but it's gonna help us. And a little bit of resistance as well. At this point, we're super over leveled and over geared, but you know, we might as well add a rare bow on top of it. So let's see if it's any good. Not the best, but definitely better than what we had. So I'll take it. Moving on, we're gonna go ahead and rescue Sin. And yeah, he's just hanging out in a tree. And get our boy on lock. And oh yeah, this nasty guy here. He killed me twice. Not proud of it, but we got him done, and we got another cosmetic for it. We got our first support gem, and I'm gonna throw that into our lightning rod and multi-shot. So now we only have to shoot it once or twice for every pack or rare mob. It's pretty nice. Strong boxes are way better than I'm used to them being. We got a regal orb and a ton of augmentation orbs from that. Anyways, some dude named Lachlan wants me to kill this wife and husband combo. I'm not sure what the dynamic is there between the two, but damage is feeling pretty good. And yeah, I have no complaints there. So we take her out with the quickness. Unfortunately, she doesn't really drop anything too exciting, but you know, rares are rares. Oh, speaking of rares, get this other rare bow. Our early game luck's actually pretty good. Really good. That's an insane bow for early game. That's probably gonna be our bow for quite a long time. So let's see, 41 damage to 59 damage. That's almost a 50% increase right there. I will take that. And you know, my quiver's kind of crap, so let's go ahead and see if we can't do a little crafting. Nothing, shoo, ouch. Okay, well, the flat damage is still pretty good. So 59 to 69, still an upgrade. So let's test our new damage on Draven here. And yeah, it feels pretty great. Again, we're pretty over leveled, and at this point, we're pretty over geared. It helps to stagger back and farm a little bit before these fights. I mean, you pretty much just are immortal, and you pretty much are just immortal and kind of just walk through all the content like it's nothing. And yeah, the damage feels amazing. So, Lachlan dead. Then I get my redemption. I do my first Abyss, and I get rewarded heavily with our first Exalted Orb. Nice. I find this lady's loot, just, you know, chilling in a box. So I thought we'd go ahead and return this to her, and yeah, get some skill points. I'm just wandering around, minding my own business, and then, you know, out pops an Artificer Orb. How could I resist? You know what this would look really good in? That's right, our bow from earlier. It just so happened to have a little bit of a storm rune as well. So I think we're ready for the next boss fight coming up pretty soon. This bow's kind of insane. So, got to test the damage out on this guy here. Bless his heart. Yeah, he put up a good fight. Not really. Oh my god, what are these gloves? Look at that flat, holy flat damage, Batman. 98 damage to 136 damage with some gloves. So yeah, I think we're double extra ready for this next boss coming up. The damage is feeling pretty spicy. And what's that? I almost actually didn't see that chaos orb on the ground. Maybe it's about time we get a loot filter. I kind of forgot about loot filters, I'll be honest. Anyways, this guy, yeah, he thought he had me. Not even close. Not even close at all. But yeah, we kill the big guy. Listen to this. It's a crazy noise. Crazy noise. But we got another exalted orb. That's pretty sweet. All right, desert time. We're in the desert, and almost immediately get a spirit gem. And that kind of reminds me, like, oh yeah, maybe I should go back to the King of the Mists and actually get some spirit. Now we can start running Herald of Thunder. It's gonna help our clear speed quite a lot. And oh God. All right, well, that's about as close as you can get to dying in this game. Anyways, Herald of Thunder. And don't forget to check your altar, you know? The game decided that it was going to be a little silly and give me 2 exalted orbs, but I can only really afford the 1. Thanks, game. Anyways, you know how we were saving all those socketed items and superior items? Well, this is why. You could break down socketed items and superior items for artificer shards and whetstones. They're used for crafting. Artificer shards specifically. So we've got 7 shards and 1 full orb. That's going to come in handy later on. The Crow Bill, this silly fellow with his little bell, he didn't drop anything overly exciting, but we got some skill points out of it, so I'll take it. So I'm not sure who was in charge of the loot distribution part of this league, but give that person a raise, because the loot is feeling good. I think that's Exalt number 5. And check out that ring, man. Some flat damage, rarity, dual res. Oh yeah, I like that. This person, I think that's a female. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, they'll sometimes go invisible and kind of hug the outer ring of their arena. Just kind of walk into them, and it'll stop the poison from filling up the arena. It's a bit annoying, and they're a little squirrely, but you'll get it done. Just walk into them. This is Keth. We're going to be talking a little bit about Keth at the end of this episode, but just know that this is kind of where you should farm if you're struggling in Act 2, in my opinion. And yeah, just a bunch of rares, that full Artificer Orb right there. Yeah, you'll love it. I guess Exalted Orb number 5? 6? I don't know. Who's counting? Anyways, the damage is starting to feel a little bit bad. We've been using the same bow. We're getting towards like middle to the end of Act 2 now. So yeah, we're in the market for an upgrade. Here's something new. We found a freaking jawbone in a box. So yeah, I guess we'll go figure that out in a minute. Anyways, these 2 knuckleheads, you want to kind of kill together. You want to kill them as close to each other as you can, because the one that's left over becomes empowered, and yeah, we don't want that. So, happy with that kill. Not so happy with the loot, but whatever. Oh God, this guy is a fight. Whenever he plunks his little sword down like that, you kind of want to tuck yourself behind it to, you know, deflect his spooky breath stuff. But yeah, I usually just try to face tank him as best as I can. And yeah, it's just kind of a battle of attrition. You'll get through it eventually. I decided to craft a ring. It had some flat damage on it, and I like that. Then I rolled some resistance. I like that. And then we rolled some more resistance. So this thing's absolutely cracked. And yeah, won't be replacing that anytime soon. So doing some more Abyss. I've been really enjoying the Abyss. It's actually quite profitable, and we got our first rare chest, and wouldn't you know it, 2 more freaking jawbones, man. So I guess it's time to use them. We actually lose damage from this, so I didn't realize at that point in time, but we lost our flat fizz damage roll, which really kind of hurt this weapon significantly, but it's basically, we're just gonna unveil it at this point, and we get 3 options. And this time around, the options were actually quite good. % increased elemental damage, flat lightning. We're gonna go with a flat lightning, because, you know, we're gonna replace this weapon in like an hour anyway, so not a big deal. Still a pretty good bow. 530 DPS. Yeah, that'll work. So this last boss in Act 2 is always proved to be pretty difficult, but this flask here gains 0.2 charges per second. That flask will help you through this fight like nothing else. And he still almost gets me, and I'll be real with you, he killed me 8 times. 8 of them. 8 of my deaths was because of this stupid guy here. So you can imagine how overly excited I was when we finally got him. Ah, that felt good. I made a trade. We sold our first original bow for an exalted orb and immediately slammed this new bow. Remember how I said we're going to replace this bow in an hour? Yeah, I wasn't kidding. So I had this other bow. We're going to put 2 artificer orbs in it, and we're going to go ahead and quality it up too. Why not? And I was saving these desert runes for a rainy day, and looks like that day is today. So let's see how much damage. 763 to 558. Yeah, pretty big upgrade. So we made it to Act 3 at the end of day 1. And I'd like to say it was super easy and I'm a god gamer, woo! But no, not so much. I died 15 times, and I'll tell you what, half of those were from this stupid boss in Act 2. And he always gets me, every single time. I like to do Deadeye, and Deadeye, like my build is lightning, he's strong against lightning, blah, 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 I get it. So 2 things that really help a lot with him is a potion that gains charges per second, because it is an absolute battle of attrition. If your damage sucks, you're really just needing, you have no way to regenerate life other than a flask most of the time in early game. So this is really important. The other thing is lightning resistance. Most of his damage is lightning. So yeah, bump those numbers up there and the fight's going to feel significantly better. And I think I want to say, don't quote me on this, but I want to say he's weak against ice and he's strong against lightning. So if you're doing a lot of lightning damage and you're hitting him like a wet noodle, that's probably why. So with that being said, where did I go and farm? So he killed me like 5 or 6 times, and I quickly realized, yeah, I'm probably going to need to just go power up a little bit. Yeah. So we left there. I decided Keth. Keth is usually where I like to go and farm. For a couple reasons. So now that I've said I farm in Keth, let's go to the Lost City instead. All right, so whenever you come into the Lost City, the reason that we're coming here is because we want to go into Keth at its exit, right? Like the end of Keth. So then whenever you do that, from the Lost City into Keth, from this direction, there's always going to be this checkpoint here with the little octagon, little pad thing. We're looking for a set of stairs with a checkpoint next to it. It'll be relatively close by, so you don't need to keep, yep, right there, perfect. Inside this, there's always going to be a magic pack, which is going to give good gold and good XP. So, not the best round here. I've gotten up to like 400 gold before. And it's always going to give a rare chest. So we get a little bit of currency, and we get some rare items. Now, that could have been a rare bow, or it could have been a rare sword, rare armor, whatever, right? So rare upgrades. So at this point, we're just going to hit the checkpoint and go straight back on through to here. And we could just keep repeating this. So on PC, if you hold down Control and you left click on the instance, you can actually start a new instance. So we're going to pop through again. And what's cool is if you hold down spacebar now, we can actually sprint. So it makes this farm even better early game. Oh, there's the stairs. There's the checkpoint. Let's pop in, kill our blue pack. It's always a guaranteed blue pack there. Get some gold. There's 145. Some good XP. And our loot. Another rare item. Super fast. You can farm a bunch of rares pretty quick this way. Hit the checkpoint and go straight back. So I did this probably 15-20 times. Got a bunch of loot. Rares I turned into regal orbs. Any superior stuff and socketed stuff you break down on your workbench. And you can get like whetstones and artificer orbs to socket your gear. And it just helps, every little bit helps. So at that point, I decided, all right, now we're going to go to the Dreadnought. So the Dreadnought is where I like to farm my XP. So I actually over leveled in the Dreadnought. It's a level 31 zone. but I farmed this all the way up to level 33 and a half, maybe even 34. I don't really remember. And then at that point, I had enough gear. I had enough passive points on my passive tree to do enough damage to successfully take on the boss, leading us to Act 3. So, yeah, I would definitely highly recommend farming Keth. You can farm pretty much anywhere as well in the new league because we have the Abyss mechanic. So anywhere that's like, 10 levels or under, level difference between you and the zone, yeah, just farm the Abyss, get a bunch of currency. Yeah, loot is pretty plentiful and currency is pretty plentiful so far in this league. I've had no issues. And here's a quick glimpse at my gear. It's all pretty trash except for this ring. The gloves add a bunch of damage. The boots are actually pretty decent, and the bow is good enough. I hate that it's fire damage. We actually used one of those jawbones, and we got like a crappy fire damage instead of percent fizz. That would have been great. Probably would have carried us all the way through Act 3. But whatever. We definitely have room for improvement here. So I'm gonna get out of here. I don't want this video being 100 minutes long. So yeah, be safe. Have a good night. I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for stopping by.